Hi and welcome to the channel. My name is Dominique Bennett and today we're just going to be doing a simple makeover from this trendy challenge for winter called I'm Cold. Before I started this makeover, I had already put on my eyelashes because they take quite a long time to do, for me at least, because they were quite long for my eyes, so it was hard to get them in the right place. So for this makeup look, I wanted to go for a more sharp looking eyebrow. So what I did was that I brushed out my eyebrows upwards. As you can see now, what I'm doing, I'm just lightly plucking my eyebrows upwards into their general directions. So as you can see, the right one, I'm just pushing it to the right and then pushing the end of my eyebrow as high as I can get it and then kind of smudging it out by just smoothing it. So once I'm done with that and I'm happy, I show you where I wanted to go. So I was more looking at where my hairline was and then just measuring from there how high I wanted it. So I just basically from the bottom part, I draw upwards and connect it with the top, and I start to smudge it or smooth it out by using the eyebrow pencil at the bottom and the top of my actual eyebrow. So the thicker that you want your eyebrows, the more you would draw at the bottom and not the top, because the top will look crazy, but if you do it at the bottom, it will make it look thicker, which does kind of make you look angrier sometimes. So for me, I wanted to go for a really light, but almost angry, not angry, but a fierce look. So I was showing you what it would look like if I were to conceal or hide the little part of my eyebrow so you see it's very straight. So I'm just going in there and fixing up my right eyebrow right now. I'm just fixing it because it looked a little bit crooked when I looked at it in the mirror. I do the same to the left because I want them to both be the same size and not have one skinny eyebrow and one thick eyebrow. So now I'm just trying to make my eyebrows longer to match the point of my eye at the bottom, as you can see. So from the bottom and the top, I'm just drawing inwards towards my nose bridge, and then I start doing an upwards motion with my eyebrow pen so that it makes it look like actual eyebrows. My tip here: get an eyebrow pencil that is actually your shade in eyebrows, because this one was a bit too light for me. As you can see, my my eyebrows are more dark, but the eyebrow pencil is light brown. Now, I concealed my eyebrows, and now I'm going to conceal right underneath my eyelid, like directly underneath my eyelid, and basically make an upside down triangle shape going all the way down to my chin. And I'm just showing you the guidelines of where I would put my concealer. You want to apply it on semi heavy handed, but not quite, like a bit medium, I think. But I was putting it on really lightly and just trying to cover up the general surface area of where we would be using my concealer. So just fill it in as best you can. And to make your nose look smaller, you would put more concealer on your nose bridge. So you can see the more concealer that I put there, the smaller my nose looked. Now I'm just making a shiny point in the middle of my nose, and then I basically just put a little bit of like a button dot at the peak of my nose where the light was shining. You want to follow your natural skin guidelines of where your shine is. This is a very nice brush for eyeshadow, and I use it for contouring as well, contouring my nose, because it's really soft and it doesn't apply too much. The brand is PABA Cosmetics. I had just bought some eyeshadow pigments from there, and they're really nice. I really like them, so I recommend you go shop through there as well. So I'm just gonna dip it in water to clean it from the previous eyeshadow that I had on, and also so that it makes my contour run better. I'm just drying it out there with my hand. My contour set was a bit crackled, so I just kind of blowed on it to get rid of the crackle. So at this point I had already put on my contour at my nose, the bottom of my nose, the sides leading up to my eyelids, and I also put on the side of my face because I wanted to do a sharp jawline look. So now I'm just patting out my powder so I can go in on my concealed areas and make it look matte, because I love a matte looking face. So I just grab a fluffy brush that I have and just wiggle it around kind of in the powder, and then just basically dust it off of your finger because you don't want to put too much on. Now I'm using my makeup sponge, and I'm just trying to blend it out better into my skin because it looks really light on camera, so I couldn't tell, but in person my face looked okay. But here it was looking way too light, so I was trying to see if I could blend it out onto my skin. So I took my summer concealer to try and blend out the paleness from my new concealer that I have. As you can see, there's a bit more orange on my face, so I'm trying to mute the whiteness of my concealer. So, as you can see, I'm just literally dabbing on my face with all my foundation and my two concealers, and basically what you want to do is just blend it out. So I'm just sucking in my cheek here to see where my actual bone line is, so I can directly apply on my bone line so it looks better. If you're using a liquid concealer, I think you'll have a lot easier time than I was having with my powdered one, because the powdered one wasn't showing up as heavy as I wanted it to, so I was struggling with it. Then I'm putting foundation on the back of my hand just to see how it look with my makeup sponge. And now I'm just, oops, not my makeup sponge, my powder. I put the powder and the foundation together, which makes a really nice matte look and matte blend. So you can see some colors being brought back to my face, a more yellowish tone. I was basically just trying to mute the white color from my concealer once again. So once I'm done with that, I start blending in my nose with my makeup sponge and just trying to drag it along the top of my eyelid and my eyebrows to make my concealer fade into the area because it was a bit dried. So once it's dried, it's way harder to manipulate it. So as you can see, I'm just pulling back my contour and my concealer so that it's better, right? So I'm just checking how it looks right now. Obviously my eyebrows are still a bit too light, so I'll go back in and fix them. But my cheekbones were the real problem here because they were not blending in with the concealer, so I had to re-blend it. So I'm just dusting off one of my, this is a brush that I use for contour. Then it does work well if you blend it out. So I was blending out the bottom of my nose. So now I'm blending out my nose bridge, trying to give it that sharp effect but not fake. And then I'm using the same brush to just blend out my concealer at the top of my eyebrows to just make everything blend nice together. I recommend you don't go from a contour brush straight to a concealer because there's a possibility it could pick up some of the contour and then brush it at that place you were just trying to conceal, which would be a disaster. So as you can see, like, the concealer brush is doing its work. It makes my nose look a lot smaller and more pointed just by simply brushing out the bridge. So here, I thought that the concealer was looking too light. So I just decided to start dabbing off some of the makeup so it looks more blended all together. So now I'm just looking at the mirror for where else I should work. So I decided I wanted to put on more contour for my cheeks because I felt like they weren't sharp looking enough, or they weren't sharp enough, so I wanted to just make them look super chiseled. So as you can see, there's me contouring my cheek again because I felt like it was blending not as good as I wanted it to. It was more staying as one color as the concealer. So I wanted it to stand out on its own, so I reapplied a heavy amount. Ideally what you should do is get either a slanted brush, like a big slanted puffy brush, and then with liquid concealer just put a few dots and just drag it, or not drag it, but dab it in, and it will look much better. But with powder concealers, it's a lot harder for me to achieve the look I was looking for. So as you can see, I just dabbed it in some water to see if it will blend a little bit better and remove some more concealer from my face because it's still looking very light right now. But as you can see, I'm just slightly dragging it along my face and then underneath my eyes because they're a bit too light there. So at this point, I had put on blush, and I had put on lipstick and outlined my lips. So I'm just gonna quickly explain what I did. So you see I'm using a lipstick because lipstick does spread as good as using a powdered blush, but I didn't have any on hand. So I literally just used my lipstick and put some on my cheeks and then upwards towards my eyebrows, and then just blended it out with my fingers and with my beauty blender. Then for my lips, I just outlined with a darker lip liner. I have a black one. I just outlined with a black lip liner, then took a lighter color for my lips, right? And then I just put lip gloss, and that's all you have to do. My eyes, if you're wondering how it looks so light there, I just taken the lightest bit of contour I have and just put it underneath my eyes, and then basically right underneath the highlight, all I did was literally take the darkest concealer I had and put it at the ends of my eyes to give it that more cutesy look, because I was trying to go for like a doll look but also the I'm cold look. Then I take some white here. I put a little bit too much white on my right eyelid. As you can see, it looks a bit more crazy there. But if you're going for crazy, this is probably the look for you, because I felt like I looked absolutely insane. So yeah, now I'm just blending it out with my PABA brush to see if I can blend out the white, but because I had put on so much accidentally, it was really hard to get it to move. Now I'm just gonna use a glitter pigment from PABA, and I just put it right in the middle of my lower eyelid and at the top of my upper eyelid, so that it gives it a shimmer effect when I am walking. There's me just trying to blend out that white, but I applied it too heavy so it wouldn't move, unfortunately. So this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope that if you were following along that it was easy and that you liked this look. And if you like more of this, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.